My brain started hiding information before I noticed. I woke up and couldn't remember my name. I looked in the mirror and saw a familiar face, but empty. As if someone had erased part of me during the night. My mother was in the kitchen. I knew she was my mother, but I couldn't remember any memories with her. Nothing. Just a black hole where a lifetime should exist. And the scariest part? My brain was doing this on purpose. Have you ever stopped to think that your mind might be betraying you right now? That there are memories being erased, information being hidden, and you don't even notice? I'm not talking about common forgetfulness. I'm talking about a secret mechanism that your own brain uses to protect you or destroy you. And you're going to discover in this video why thousands of people are losing pieces of themselves without having any idea why. My name is Daniel, and for 3 months of my life, I was a stranger to myself. It all started subtly. Small lapses. I would walk into a room and forget why I was there. Normal, right? Everyone goes through that. But then things escalated. I would forget entire conversations I had the day before. Important appointments simply evaporated from my mind. My girlfriend would tell me something personal, deep, and the next day it was as if it had never happened. She thought I didn't care. My friends thought I was using drugs. My boss started questioning my competence. But I swear, I tried to remember. I tried so hard my head would hurt. It was like trying to hold water in my hands. The more I tried to hold on to the memories, the faster they slipped through my fingers. The first time I really panicked was when I woke up driving. That's right. I was behind the wheel of my car, in motion, on a highway I didn't recognize, and had absolutely no memory of how I got there. The tank was half full. That meant I had been driving for hours. My body was on autopilot while my consciousness simply didn't exist. I pulled over to the shoulder and cried. I cried because I realized I was losing control of my own existence. The human brain is the most complex and mysterious machine in the known universe. It contains approximately 86 billion neurons, each connected to thousands of others through synapses. This creates a communication network so vast that it surpasses any computer ever built. But here's the deadly secret nobody tells you: this perfect machine can turn against you. It can decide that certain information is too dangerous for you to access. And when that happens, you start disappearing from the inside. There are several mechanisms the brain uses to hide information. The first and most studied is called dissociative amnesia. No, this isn't movie stuff. It's a real disorder, recognized by medicine, where the brain literally blocks traumatic memories as a form of protection. Imagine your mind is a house, and in one of the rooms there's something so horrible, so unbearable, that your brain locks the door and hides the key. You know the room exists, sometimes you walk past the door, but you can never get in. The problem is when your brain starts locking too many rooms. When it decides that it's not just the trauma that needs to be hidden, but also the memories around it, the people involved, the places, the smells, the sensations. Suddenly, you've lost not just a bad moment, but entire years of your life. And it's not always because of an obvious trauma. Sometimes it's chronic stress. Sometimes it's untreated depression. Sometimes your brain just goes crazy for no apparent reason. I discovered this the worst way possible. After the highway incident, I finally sought help. I went to a neurologist who referred me to a psychiatrist specializing in dissociative disorders. During the first appointment, she asked me a simple question: "Daniel, can you tell me about your childhood?" I opened my mouth to answer and realized it was empty. Completely empty. I knew I had a childhood, logically I know I was a child once, but when I tried to access specific memories, there was nothing. Neither good nor bad. Just a gray and silent void. The doctor then explained something terrifying. She said our brain doesn't store memories like a computer stores files. Every time you remember something, you're actually recreating that memory from scratch, gathering pieces scattered across different brain regions. And each time you recreate it, you can also modify, distort, or even completely erase that information. That's why eyewitnesses are so unreliable. That's why your childhood memories are probably wrong. And that's why, in extreme cases, you can lose access to everything. She showed me tests. MRI scans of my brain. There were areas with reduced activity, especially in the hippocampus, the region responsible for consolidating short-term memories into long-term memories. But the cause wasn't physical. There was no tumor, no injury, no degenerative disease. What was happening was purely psychological. My brain had entered survival mode and decided that forgetting was safer than remembering. But forgetting what? That was the million-dollar question. If I couldn't access the memories, how could I know what was being hidden? That's when she suggested something radical, memory recovery therapy through hypnosis. I was desperate, so I agreed. And what happened in that session changed everything. Under hypnosis, memories started to emerge. They weren't clear, they were fragmented, like watching a movie with half the scenes missing. But there was a pattern. All the memories involved my father. And the more I tried to focus on them, the more a feeling of absolute terror took over my body. My heart raced, my hands sweated, I started shaking violently. The therapist had to pull me out of the trance before I went into total panic. When I came back to consciousness, I still didn't remember the details. But now I knew the truth. My brain wasn't hiding random information. It was protecting me from something specific. Something involving my father. Something so disturbing that my own mind preferred to erase years of my life rather than let me face that truth. In the following weeks, pieces started coming back. Not all at once. It was like assembling a macabre puzzle where each piece that fit revealed a darker image. I remembered locked doors. Muffled screams. Whispered secrets and veiled threats. My father wasn't who I thought he was. Or rather, my brain had created an edited version of him, an acceptable version, and kept the real version in a sealed mental vault. And here's something that will make you question everything: this isn't rare. Studies show that between 3 and 7% of the population will experience some type of dissociative amnesia during their lifetime. Millions of people are walking around with holes in their personal histories, not even knowing something is missing. Your brain is so good at filling gaps, at creating coherent narratives, that you can spend decades without realizing that part of you has been erased. Think about your own memories now. Do you really remember your complete childhood? Or do you remember photos you saw, stories you were told, narratives you built based on fragments? When was the last time you had a memory that was truly yours, not influenced by anything external? It's scary, isn't it? Realizing that maybe you're not as much the owner of your own story as you thought. But there's an even more sinister side to all of this. Sometimes the brain doesn't hide memories to protect you. Sometimes it hides them to control you. There's a phenomenon called induced false memory, where your mind can literally create events that never happened. And you'll believe them with every fiber of your being. This has been used in police interrogations, resulting in confessions to crimes people didn't commit. It has destroyed entire families through accusations based on recovered memories that later proved false. What I'm saying is, your brain is a narrator. And like every narrator, it can lie. It can omit. It can exaggerate. The difference is you can't simply close the book and look for another story. You're trapped inside the narrative your own brain chose to tell you. It took 8 months of intensive therapy for me to start feeling in control again. The memories didn't all come back, and maybe they never will. But I learned to live with the holes. I learned that sometimes not remembering is really a form of protection, and that forcing access can cause more damage than good. The human mind is delicate. It can break in ways you can't even imagine. Today I live with a constant awareness that my perception of reality is filtered, edited, curated by processes that are completely outside my conscious control. It's liberating and terrifying at the same time. Because if I can't trust my own mind, what can I trust? The final truth: The lesson I learned the hardest way is this: you are not just the memories you can access. You are also all the holes, all the gaps, all the stories your brain decided to hide. And maybe, just maybe, that's better. Because if you could see everything, if every painful memory, every traumatic moment, every unbearable truth were always available, would you be able to keep living? Or would you break too? So next time you forget something simple, when you can't remember where you put your keys or what you went to do in that room, be grateful. Because at least your brain is still functioning normally. The real terror begins when it decides to hide bigger things. When you wake up one day and realize you've lost not just your keys, but entire pieces of who you are. And then it might be too late to find your way back. If this account impacted you, if you've ever felt something isn't right with your own memory, don't ignore these signs. Seek help. Because your brain might be trying to tell you something important, even if it's through silence. And sometimes, what we can't remember is as important as what we never forget.